Just give me a reason to keep my heart beating. Don't worry, it's safe right here in my arms. As the world falls apart around us, all we can do is hold on, hold on.
What is up, guys? This is DT Ninja here to bring you my first impressions video on the manga known as Tokyo Ghoul. Yes, guys, Tokyo Ghoul. Now, I had to check this out. I'm not one to, follow the trends. Everyone is watching this, so I should watch this. Usually, I watch something because I like it. Now, I had to check this out because, someone recommended it to me. Many people recommended it, and they said it's a pretty good story, so I wanted to check it out for myself, and yeah, this story, wow. So, first impressions of this. First of all, we have this character, Kanke, okay? He's a college student, and he's just an ordinary college student, right? Talking about girls with his friend Hyde. Hyde is his friend, Kanke is this, he's kind of, he's to himself. He's not really talkative. He's kind of timid, and his friend Hyde is more of the person who talks out loud, asking the girls, do you have a boyfriend, like the funny one, and Kanke is like the shy one. So it's really interesting how we're brought into this idea of world where ghouls exist. Okay, now in the beginning, they're both talking about ghouls, what they would look like. Do they look human? And I believe Hyde says they'll look human, and Kanke thinks they'll look more like monsters. Now, what's interesting about this is because we're brought right into the story. We're talking about the girls, and we're introduced to Toka-chan. Toka-chan is one of my favorite characters, by the way, and Riza-chan. Now, both of these characters are girls, right? Now, they're talking about the girls, and all of a sudden, we get this date between, Kanke and Rize. And now they're going off to the bookstore and whatnot, and she's going home, okay? And all of a sudden, she just turns into this ghoul, and her eyes turn black, and I was like, what? Like, I knew they were hiding, like, somewhere, because we learned from the beginning, that humans are on the top of the food chain, but ghouls exist, and they exist to kill humans. They need it for nourishment, for food. This is their food source. Now, what's interesting about that is they say humans are on the top, but as we progress through these chapters, I've read the first 10 chapters, by the way, I'm starting to think that humans aren't at the top, because every time I think it's a human, it's actually a ghoul. And every time, I'm proven wrong. For instance, when I first saw Toka-chan, I thought she was a ghoul. And she is. But the point is that both girls were ghouls. I had no idea both of them were. Now it makes sense because, it is a place, where ghouls gather. Okay, so that makes sense that they are. But at that time, there was no way to tell. So that was quite interesting. Especially when, Toka-chan is there, and she's like, how interesting. They're going together, and she's like, whatever. She just has this, like, protector type persona where she wants to look out for Kanke, and I like that. I like that about her. But she has this, I don't care type attitude, but at the same time she's helping him, and I also like that as well. So at the end of the first chapter, everyone knows that he wakes up in the hospital, and he finds out that these organs were given by the girl that was dead. She was pronounced dead, so they took her organs and, put them inside of Kanke so he can live. Now, what they don't know is that she was a ghoul. She was not human. That is just crazy. So he's learning that he is not human anymore. But at the first time, he's learning slowly. He's learning that, he can't taste the hospital food. It tastes like crap. He cannot have these human tastes that he normally had are gone. Okay, everything is different. He has this black eye that is forming. Everything is starting to unfold before him, and the truth slowly becomes apparent. He's not human, right? He's not human, but he's not a ghoul either. So this is really interesting because this reminded me of Naruto. Okay, this idea of struggling, this idea of, conflict within. Conflict is a very interesting dynamic in a story. Now, conflict, within Naruto was the Kyuubi, right? The Kyuubi was the main conflict within. He had no idea the Kyuubi was, controlling him at some times. But at the same time, he's still a shinobi. But at the same time, he's this monster. So, and everyone around him knew that this monster was inside of him. Now, in this case, Kankei, nobody knows that this monster is within him. So it's a little different, but at the same time, he's got this struggle that's very interesting, and I'm drawn into the story. So that is quite interesting. I like that about the story. So then we go on, and, we meet other ghouls, okay? Kankei realizes, remember when he's running into the bathroom and he finally sees what he looks like and he's freaking out and he can't figure out what's going on. He goes, off going home and he finds these ghouls and he thinks, someone's cooking food and it's humans being eaten. And he can't understand, why is this happening to me? Why am I like this? Why me? Why me? And I just like this aspect of the manga. And every time he's in trouble, okay, especially when he's introduced to Nishiki, that character, the senpai of Hyde, he's eating someone and he comes across him and, he's confused because, he's like, you're not a ghoul, but you're not a human either. So, it's really interesting. But then, Toka-chan shows up out of nowhere like a badass, and she just, cuts him in the stomach, and, that was just awesome. I love that part, and also just Toka-chan's character is awesome. I like the idea, her mystery, the mystery of her. We don't really know much about her, but at the same time, we know she wants to help Kankei for some reason, She said whatever, but at the same time, she chose to help him, And then, the quote she leaves, she says, "You're not a ghoul. You're not a human. There's no place for you in this world." Now, the very first thing I think about is Naruto, right? He said those exact same words in Kishimoto's work, I guarantee you, this author read Naruto. I will say it now. I guarantee you. And I'm glad he did, because this is an awesome dynamic to the story. There is no place for you in this world. You have to learn to adapt to being a ghoul, at the same time trying to be a human. And I really like this struggle, this dynamic of the story. It just really draws you in, and it keeps you interested. I mean, I'm really interested. I'm glad I got into this. So thank you, all of you that recommended this to me, because this is just an awesome story. And finally, right, we get this dynamic of Hyde and, his senpai later on, where they're together, okay? And they're supposedly friends. And then there's this dynamic where he tells, he tells Kankei to go home, I'm going to go to his house. But now Kankei knows that Nishiki is a ghoul. So he has this obligation to protect his best friend. And this is really interesting, and that is when that fight takes place, and we finally see Kankei's powers awaken, or somewhat, of Rise-chan, the claw of Rise-chan finally awakens, and he sticks it right through his stomach, that was awesome. And of course, Toka-chan arrives, to help at the very end. So yeah, just an awesome manga so far. I'm really enjoying it, guys. And then, he joins the same place Toka-chan is, and now they're together, Toka and Kange. They work at the same place, and I'm not sure if it's like the shop owner, the boss, or whatever. He's also a ghoul, which is quite interesting. So really, you're drawn into this world, and you think, ghouls are limited. They're not that many, but actually, it seems like there's a lot of them out there. But they look like humans. So that is really interesting. And then the one thing the shop owner tells Kanke is, if you ever see a human with a briefcase, okay, or a large case, come and tell me. And now, the very end of chapter 10, we finally see the organization known as the Ghoul. I'm not sure if they're not a ghoul. They're police investigators. But what's interesting is, I think that possibly they are the same thing that Kanke is, because when we saw them destroy that ghoul, he was using the powers of a ghoul. So it makes me think that he can use the powers of a ghoul and still stay human without that conflict. So that is why it is imperative that he tells them that, because that is a serious and dangerous organization. And that is where I'm right now. So that has been my first, 10 chapter first impressions. I'll probably do another one after chapter 20 because I'm really into this series. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my first impressions. Like I said, my favorite character is Toka-chan. Toka-chan for the win, But Kanke is an awesome character as well. He will probably be one of my favorite characters in the end, I got a feeling he's going to grow, he's going to progress. But right now, Toka-chan is my favorite character just because of her mystery. We don't really know anything about her, but at the same time, she has this idea of protecting Kanke, but at the same time, she's just a badass. I mean, it's awesome, right? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, have an awesome day.